Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to another little review of an FSX Steam Edition product. So today we are looking at Aerosoft's Manhattan X. So we're going to be doing a quick circuit around the city, pointing out some of the highlights and just having a quick look over this this scenery of some of the possibly some of the world's most famous skylines kicking around. And as you can see, we're sitting up here on a helipad on one of the buildings here, so it's nice to see that there is like some landable buildings as well, so you aren't just going to fall straight through buildings, as we look over the Empire State Building just in front of us. Alright, so yeah, we're going to do a quick little circuit around here and then show off some of the sights, and as usual we'll get my little review and thoughts at the end of it. So today we are in FSX Steam Edition. So yeah, the edition I am reviewing of this Aerosoft product is the Steam Edition add-on that is now available. Alright, so we've got to climb up here. We'll start powering up and we'll take off. Now the helicopter I'm in is it's a repaint by myself, which is of course available from my my OneDrive, and look out for the links down below for that. And on top of that, it is the default EH101. So there we go. So as we lift off, we're going to head down across town a little bit, so we can see there it is, Empire State Building. Beautiful it is. Very, very famous for normally having a gorilla attached to it. But anyway, alright, so we're going to head down here. We've got, of course, the United Nations building just down there along the front there. Now I'm going to head down, so we've got... quite a lot of the area is modelled very well by Aerosoft here, so we're going to have a quick look. We're going to deviate here before we turn down river quickly. So this is one of the islands. Roosevelt Island here is very well modelled and actually taken care of. Plus also you got all the major bridges and stuff along here along the river are of course also modelled very nicely as well, and pretty nice detail as well. Definitely more than what you normally get from the default scenery. Alright, so we're going to chuff back around the other way now. Now, one of the cool things that Aerosoft did put in this as well, they also did put in some really cool they put in extra traffic effects and sound effects and sound files or whatever to try and capture the sound of New York as it does, which is a really nice little touch, I thought, as well. It's not that the scenery is sort of just the static. It does actually have some immersive elements to it as well, which is nice and cool. You notice it more when you sort of hover down amongst the buildings, and when you go down to sort of park along some of the helipads that are along here as well. Nice along there. We got, of course, the United Nations there. It's the United Nations anyway. It's about the right place for it. Just go along sort of the side here. So we got so you got some of the more famous landmarks coming up across some bridges down here. You got of course the highways down there, which is modelled very nicely. Okay, now just down there is one of the heliports that is added by this scenery. I'll just loop back there quickly. Yeah, by the way, I'm not normally one for helicopter flying, so if I do make a pig's breakfast of it, I do apologise. Helicopter flying is not my usual thing, though a friend of mine, Holger's continually on at me to actually sort of get my helicopter skills back up to enjoy some of the flights that he does. Alright, so come along here. So yep, so we can see along here, so this is one of the heliports that is added in with better scenery from Aerosoft. I want to get my helicopter to slow down, maybe get a hover or something going on. Alright. Yep, nope, definitely not going to be able to do the hover thing, but hey, that is one of the helipads that is very nicely modelled in all this. And in fact, it actually serves as a starting point of the mission that you get to actually tour along and actually sort of see New York at its finest and get some of the best things out of the scenery if you're not sure what to find. The mission that is included in it is very nice and very useful to go around and actually, get to get some of the great sights. And the mission's taking tourists around, and you become a bit of a tourist yourself while you're doing it. Alright, so we're going to continue down over here. I think it's the Hudson, I'm pretty sure there is here. Now we do one of my castings. I always love flying under bridges, and these bridges, as I said, are beautifully detailed in this software package from Aerosoft. Now, Aerosoft don't maintain that every building is 100% accurate, but, you know, does it feel like Manhattan? Does it feel like New York? You know what? It really does. Yeah, you get that feeling, you know, you watch all the TV shows and everything that's set in New York and see all the movies that are set in New York, and it does feel like New York should. Right. Don't mind me as I just go into the bridge, completely breaching FAA regulations, but I don't care, I'm just having a bit of fun. There we go. Alright, and we'll go up here as we turn right and head down this way as well. So, a couple more of the heliports, and see runways that are actually enabled here as well. And of course, don't forget, yeah, of course, Lady Liberty is, of course, put in here as well. We'll go and visit her in just a moment. Alright, so one of the other ones that got the revamp along here is down towards the point here, so KJRB. Excuse me. And of course, Brooklyn Bridge in all its beauty and glory there. Looking very, very nice. Yeah, it really does give you the feeling of being in this area. It really does. Alright, so there we are. We've got another little helipad here. So this is one for all the Wall Street and all the executives and whatever coming down. And a couple of custom models get chucked on there as well. So it's nice to see. A bit of relax there as well. Oh, what a Sea-King there today. Nice. Alright, so we're keeping on down there. You got the New York ferries and stuff with all their sort of animations. So yeah, a lot of attention to detail has been played in this as well, which is always nice to see. Interesting, you can tell when it's set sort of around the 2009 sort of era. So we've got the Freedom Tower being built over there. You can just sort of see it's still under construction, and you can hear some of the construction sounds when you fly close to it as well. And of course we've got Roosevelt Island, Liberty Island, Elliott Island are all there as well. Governor's Island, I think it was, sorry. So we'll go here, have a quick visit over this one over here, and then we'll swing by Lady Liberty before we head down, go and see some of the other final sites before wrapping up our little tour. But look, the scenery is really, really impressive. It is really well done, and yeah, it's just the amount of custom models that are in such a small square area as well. Like, it can, and I know a lot of people would be confused and well, not confused, but maybe concerned about frame rates and whatever. And I'll be honest, I was definitely one of those people. When I picked this up, I actually wondered if it was going to be one of those purchases that I'll make and then probably never really use because it's such a heavy impact on frame rates. But what they've done, Aerosoft did balance it fairly well between frame rates, building. There we are, Lady Liberty herself. I might look back around so you can get a better view of her. They did balance the frame rate versus detail versus you know, everything that sort of goes together to make scenery complex and stuff like that for FSX. And I think overall they've done a pretty good job. I mean, for those who know, have been checking out my channel and know that my gaming specs, you know, I've got a pretty fairly heavy-duty machine, but even I had to turn down the graphics settings slightly. Only slightly, not very much. Just had to lower the density, the autogen density down just a little bit, but not too much. So the birds flying around Lady Liberty there. There she is. So yeah, even I had to turn it down, but I didn't have to turn it down from like extremely dense to very dense, and I'm still pulling, you know, a very decent, quite good frame rates as I'm going along here. So, you know what, I definitely agree that Aerosoft have struck a pretty good balance between what's possible and what's doable and convenient for everybody. So yeah, I think really well done for Aerosoft. And look, this is definitely going to be, if you want to have a bit of fun and fly around the Big Apple and you want to sort of go do some ducking and weaving between buildings and give yourself something a little different to actually fly around, but still sort of, you know, experience some of those movie scenes and stuff yourself. This is going to be an add-on that you're going to want to seriously consider getting along. It really is going to be. Alright, so we're just going to fly upriver here a bit. We're going to fly over the carrier that's in dock here. I believe they've modelled it quite well, so let's have a look and see if they have. That is it. It really does look right. It looks right. Is probably what it is. It may not be accurate, but it looks right, and I think that's something I think gets forgotten a lot with some sceneries. That it's if it's not 100% perfect, that's not the thing. It's about, does it look and does it feel right? And absolutely, Aerosoft's Manhattan X really does look and feel right. It really, really does. I'm going to continue flying up here. So this is one of the other airports that is put down here as well. KJRA. We've got another one of the heliports along here. Whoop. Just coming up along the little ridges here. Here we are. There we are. There it is. So yeah, you've got quite a lot of these sort of municipal sort of helipads do get a really good treatment and really good adding in from the guys at Aerosoft when they did put it in. So it is really good to see and as I said, the attention to detail they've had is pretty good, and I'm reasonably impressed by what they've got. And it's not bad value for what you're getting. As I said, you are probably going to have some issues if you whack everything all the way up to full. You're probably going to have issues, but at the same time, you know what, you can still get some. As I said, mine's still looking pretty damn amazing. I did knock it down a little bit, but you know what, not too much, and it looks absolutely incredible. Now, probably one thing's a little disappointing. You don't have the you don't have many of the aircraft sort of modelled and put on the carrier here, which is a bit of a shame. But you know, at least we got the carrier in. Now, question is, I don't know this. This could be interesting to find out. Is it a hard deck? And yes, it is. Ha! Okay. So now that we've landed and become an impromptu part of the display here on the aircraft carrier here in dock, I think it's a pretty good point for me to wrap up this little review and let you all have my thoughts about this. Look. We've got the MiG-21 model in there, that's cool, just didn't get all the other things, and the one I was really looking forward to was of course the Concorde. I was really hoping that Concorde was going to get put on here somewhere, but alas she is not. Anyway, well, what are my overall thoughts? Look, my overall thoughts are I'm very impressed by it. It's quite an affordable piece of scenery, and definitely going to be something that you are going to want to at least consider getting and adding to your collection. I think it's pretty nice, pretty well done. Nice blending of photoreal along with sort of your detailed textures and stuff like that, and overall pretty damn impressive. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up from me. Good value. Just bear in mind, as I said, you'll notice your scenery library takes a fair bit of time to load the first couple of times that you do load the scenery in, because there are a lot of models, a lot of polys, a lot of textures going on in here. So it is going to take a little bit of time to load, but it is going to be worth it 110%. So there you go. Alright folks, that's wrapping up my little review today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to grab this product if you are interested in it. You can grab it from Steam just by heading up to the FSX Steam Edition and then under the DLC tab, and I'll put the direct link down below as well. Additionally, as I said, if you do want to get the helicopter, don't forget the reskin for this. It is available from OneDrive, and I'll pop a link to that link down below for there as well. Alright folks, thanks very much for flying with me today. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.